So we are going into 4, and Anna, would you like to discover the number that picked you?
Yes.
Lovely.
Okay, so consider for me to be in fear.
Could you read the biblical quote first?
Yes. I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked. So I hid. And he said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded not to eat?" Genesis 3:10-11.
Yep. Sure you remember that part, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Consider for me to be in fear, I must have done something wrong. My heart lets me know immediately that I broke my own law. It exposes my violation, telling me that I am naked or busted. Having become self-conscious, I hide behind the skirt of being a victim.
Okay. So tell us that same thing in your own words, or what you understand out of this first step.
So I guess I do have a question.
Okay, so
I understand that when doing something wrong,
yes,
but that wrong is in quotation marks.
but that wrong, say that again. Yes, quotation marks, exactly, because it's a judgment.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is kind of like like I'm thinking it's laughable because it seems like a game that we're playing of something that is wrong, but essentially that's only a lens of judgment, and then I pretend to be a victim of something that I judged as wrong, that I couldn't have judged wrong to begin with, and then not be a victim because that was judgment. So I'm playing a game.
Exactly.
Of hide and seek.
But the real question is, can I stop playing that game?
Can I stop playing the game?
You see, because if I'm in fear, I am attached to the thought that I shouldn't have done something I've done.
I am attached to what? I'm sorry.
To the thought that I should have done something I have done. That I am wrong, that I am flawed, that I am not enough.
No.
Can you see that?
Yeah, because whatever happened. Now I can either wear, I guess there's many lenses to wear. And I can wear the lens that says that it was wrong. I can wear the lens that, oh, but like, the lens that, where I pretend that I'm a victim and I'm a victim. Like, I can wear the lens that it was good. I can wear the lens that it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And Mohameda raised her hand as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you. My God, I didn't see that. So, Amanda, please.
I just had a question, because this description of fear is something when you've done something wrong. For me, that feels more like shame, my relationship to what shame is. I guess for me, I feel fear is a different thing. Fear is a different emotion for me when I think of what fear is. It's like something is going to happen to me, and that's what fear means to me. It's like avoidance of avoiding a potential outcome, like you're scared of an outcome.
Excellent point. So I hear it a little bit differently. For me, shame is to be wrong, versus guilt is to do wrong. Those are two different energies for me.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the judgment, no good or wrong, is from the get-go. But at the level of the victim is an action. There is something I have done as transgression, versus shame is I'm being ashamed.
Okay.
It's
So
being. It's like I am being not enough. I am being flawed.
okay.
When in that scene in the garden where Adam said, I heard you, God, and I was afraid because I was naked. And then God, or his conscience or his heart, says, but how do you know you were naked? And that's when the action comes in. Have you done something I told you not to do? This is a doing. That's the guilt of a victim, which is a different stage. It's the next stage after the sabotage shame.
So it's like the state of being of unworthiness or shame isn't the action. The action creates the victim, which is where guilt, which is more of like the tangible, the eating, the feeling guilty for being naked.
Yes,
Curious where that has to do with fear.
yes. It's like shame is more emotional, fear is more actionable, physical. And it all comes from, I am no good. This is no good. It's just it goes to the next level. Once it's become physical, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Okay? Does that make better sense to you now?
Sort of. I guess I see fear as something on the conscious level, at least, as something that you feel is subject to an external, like there's an external antagonist, and then that makes you the victim. Like I'm afraid of, I don't know, getting
Yeah.
mugged on the street. Like I'm afraid of that. Like that's
Yes.
side of me.
Yes. And it comes directly from having done something wrong. And that's what the question is just exactly what that next point is. Do you want to read it, Amanda?
Sure. I clarify for myself the following: feeling versus doing. How does shame speak of feeling wrong? How does guilt speak of doing wrong? Yeah, that tracks for me. But that is that you fear what you've done wrong. I don't see where the fear is.
It's not as much as I fear that I have done wrong. It's more that I do something that I know goes against my integrity. And now I'm afraid that the other shoe is going to drop.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anna, does that resonate for you?
I guess I'm a little bit still unclear on understanding.
Okay. So how about if you jump to number 3?
Number 3. Okay. How does any unknown wrongdoing violate the sacredness of life?
Yeah. So first of all, there's the consideration that there can be wrongdoing. Do
It's
you?
that there is such thing as wrongdoing. Essentially, there isn't. And if I'm thinking that there is wrongdoing, that is because I'm wearing that lens of wrongdoing.
Well, I would say it's more than a lens. It's something that you know internally. It's not necessarily something that mommy and daddy told you was wrong, but that your heart is telling you where you broke your own guidance, where you went against yourself. So this is not to say killing or murdering is wrong and giving donation to charity is right. There could be places where you give a donation to charity and you know that you broke your own integrity. So we're taking it to the next level besides the lens of what you're speaking of. And the question is, can you recognize that there are times that you go against your own heart?
Yes.
Okay, that would elect as wrongdoing.
Okay.
You know, like not long ago, I was in a meeting and I didn't dare saying that I wanted to leave because I was taking care of the organizer. But from the outside, I was doing the right thing. I was the only one to know that I didn't listen to my intuition, to my guidance. So if that was to be, when that will have to be replayed, and my heart is telling me, you gotta leave, even if it is not the politically or spiritually correct thing to do, I'm gonna leave. Does that make sense? Now, in terms of...
Yes. So
Oh,
as opposed to like when we say like I'm gonna suck it up and do it because it looks good, it seems good, it's the moral thing to do.
yeah, you're the only one. Nobody except you can know what is right or wrong. There's no one that can know that.
Yes.
No one can tell you what your heart wants. You're the only one that can know the desire of your true heart.
Yes.
Okay.
What happens when we don't?
Well, then you go into wrongdoing.
And fear.
Fear. What about resentment?
Well, in your opinion, is that what your heart wants for you?
No.
Okay, there you have it. Can
So
you see
essentially,
how resentment violates the sacredness of life?
yes.
Okay, so you answered the question.
Okay. So this is essentially, at least for me, the meaning that our emotions are kind of like our GPS telling us that we're either going on the right direction or the wrong direction.
Right. And when we get to fear, we can know that we have done something against our true nature.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's two things here. Now, this is when we are when we are feeling the emotions, and the emotions are telling us that there's something
Right.
something that it's wrong because we're not following our heart.
Yes, as a general rule, yes. And you may remember the instruments of knowledge. So the fallen angel is the screech of a voice. The prostitute is the split mind. So think of it that way. The screech is the screech of loneliness. The split mind is to be sad. The lost soul goes with shame. The saboteur's lost soul goes with shame. The pain body of the victim. Now we're talking about the body that is in pain goes with fear. And then the child is going to be the broken heart, and the rising angel is going to be the forsaken spirit. So, yes, loneliness, sadness, shame, fear, hatred, and anger are feelings which are generally resisted. But like you could say that the feeling of not feeling resistance is shame. The feeling of not doing what my heart wants me to do is fear.
Yeah.
The feeling that accompanies a broken heart is hatred or resentment. The feeling that goes with the forsaken spirit is anger. So those feelings and the feeling of a split mind is sadness. I shouldn't have said yes to those classes. I'm sad. I'm split between saying yes and not saying no. So those are all feelings, and you are right on, but they concern a different instrument of knowledge that is expressed by a specific archetype. Does that make better sense now to you?
Yes.
Excellent. And that was a great yes, but loved it. Thank you.